Hello friends, Luke here with Triad River Tours with a quick announcement for you as you prepare to head out for your whitewater rafting trip. Whenever Triad prepares to run a whitewater rafting trip, we have two ethical goals in mind. The first is to protect human life. We do so by mitigating certain risks and trying our very best to control variables that put human life at risk. This year, we have a couple of extra variables to consider. The second ethic that we have is to protect the environment. We protect the environment by operating minimalist, meaning we try to run things as simple and leave no trace as possible. We try to avoid congregating at public areas and making sure that our presence is felt as little as possible when we're out in nature. We find that when developing this COVID-19 protocol, a lot of the same ethics are at play. We just need to add a couple things to it. So we want to share with you a couple of extra pieces of equipment that are relevant this upcoming season. So we're all familiar with basic rafting equipment. A good high quality raft that's properly rigged and ran by a qualified and highly trained, well compensated river guide. We typically wear helmets. We have good quality paddles. We have PFDs to keep your head above water if you go for a swim. We wear 3mm wetsuits to protect you from hypothermia. We also use throw bags for certain types of rescues. This year we have a couple of extra pieces of safety equipment that we want you to be aware of. The first is a face covering. We would prefer that you brought your own face covering, but if you don't, just let us know and we'll provide you with a complimentary basic surgical mask. We need to operate, especially in these early times in phase 2 here in Washington, that's what it is right now, with a face covering on whenever we are congregating, during the safety talk, if we're on the bus together, or when we're around other people. So we'd prefer that you brought your own mask because we think that's just going to be more comfortable and more durable, but we will provide you one if you don't have one. I am using a balaclava, which when I'm wearing it kind of makes me look like a bank robber. You gotta have it over your nose. But, and honestly, if you did want to become a bank robber, then you would have one less thing to purchase, so you can look at it as an investment in that regard. But this will work just fine because it covers my mouth. You can bring whatever kind of face covering works for you. Maybe it's going to be a buff or just a sleeve that fits over your mouth. Whatever works for you is going to work for us as long as it covers your face. The other piece of equipment that we want to make you aware of is what we use as a cleaning product. So we do have a CDC approved cleaner. We've used it over the last couple of months. We've cleaned everything in our inventory, our buses, our rafts. We've rewashed all of our wetsuits and PFDs, and we're going to continue that through the season. When we go to operate a trip, just like restaurants and anything else, we do now have an additional COVID-19 protocol. So we're going to be operating at reduced capacity. That means that our rafts are going to be less filled, our buses are going to be less filled, and things are going to be a little bit different. We've gone through extensive preparations for this and we feel prepared to move forward. We're asking your cooperation by taking a little bit of extra time, follow the state guidelines, make sure that you're very cautious when you wake up that morning, check your temperature. If anyone has a fever or isn't feeling well, remember that simple is smooth and smooth is staying home. If you don't feel right, just don't go. Always have a backup plan and just trust that we're going to work with you to either reschedule your trip or come up with some solution to make sure that you can go rafting with us when you're feeling better. Please make sure to plan ahead, read your confirmation emails. If you have any questions, please let us know ahead of time. We look forward to having you on the river. Take care.